I just had my second one-on-one with the professor, and deadass this time it was just me and him. Like, nobody showed up. But it was okay because I was already prepared for it. It's 10 a.m. here in the Philippines, 7 p.m. in California time, which is where my professor was. And I literally hopped on call, and this time I was like, oh, here we go again. The thing that's different is nobody showed up after. You know, I was expecting at least 1 or 2 people to pull up, but nobody showed up. And so it just turned into this office hours. And then he requested my video. So I was like, all right, there's no hope for anonymity anymore. But it actually went really well. Like, we talked for the past 27 minutes. Like, it was great. A lot of people are worried about tuition and like whether this online education is worth it. But he was like, you know, for international students, I mean, you get a one-on-one faculty like to student ratio. That is definitely worth it moving forward. It was more like office hours. This isn't really how class should be because we learned so much from interacting with our peers. I was so great to get like consulting from him one-on-one, which I never would have done. Like, I would not have signed up for his office hours. I tell you, I would not have done it. But since it happened, it did, and I'm glad it happened. This week I've been pretty royally screwed because I did 0 readings, did 0 assignments, did nothing over the past 3 weeks that we had an extended spring break. And so this week I have just been scrambling all over the place, just submitting assignments late and just trying to catch up with everything. It's been a lot. But today I'm going to show you a day in my life, online school edition, how I'm trying to stay productive and get all my work done. I woke up at 7 a.m. today because I had an assignment due at 8 a.m. and I needed to check the TA's response to my questions so that I could submit in time. I didn't even get it done in time, so I'm using a slip day, which lets me submit an assignment late. So we're off to a great start. I have 5 classes to catch up on, work on. I've already started this morning writing some stuff, but I'm going to take you through this day with me. Hopefully it'll motivate you and you'll learn a bit about the classes I'm taking. So the first class I had this morning is DTI's web development course. They have a 2-credit class on web development using React, and it's not even funny how much I was kind of fangirling over this yesterday. Like, I think I've accepted that low-key I am a true nerd. Fun fact, I made a website recently called donatecovid19.org to compile all the donation funds worldwide that we can donate to support our communities, and I made that using HTML and CSS, which are 2 programming languages. We have just migrated our HTML CSS website to React. At 9 a.m. I started doing readings for my other class, Designing New Ventures. Today we're talking about key resources, activities, and costs. What are the most important things that need to be in place for the business to proceed? Is that your team, are those your customers, investors, and then key resources are what resources do you need to make those key activities happen. So these resources can be physical, human, intellectual, or financial. Cost structures. What does a business need to stay alive, to have cash flow, which is another way of saying like a stream of cash coming in to keep it afloat. And we talked about how it's different for startups versus businesses. For startups, cash is king, and for businesses, they're normally at the later stage of their growth, so they're already backed by like VC firms. They already have investors who can fund them, so it's a different story. Next thing I'm going to work on is my information ethics, law, and policy class. I have been totally neglecting the readings, and it's not even just spring break. I just have not been reading things after the 5th lecture in the year, so that's like I may be 10 lectures behind on readings, not gonna lie, but it's okay because the assignments so far are just policy memos that we have to write, so I typically do all the research the week before. I got 10 lectures, guys, I promise I do, but I can't seem to focus. Hells yeah, guys, I finally finished my to-do list. All you're supposed to do is to make a simple to-do list. There are literally 3 elements. One is the list of items, second is the input field, and third is the button. My best advice is if you're trying to figure something out, try to just get into a state of mind where you don't feel rushed. My tendency is when I get stressed, I just try to like brute force something and get it to work, and my mind isn't really thinking. I'm just trying to end my pain as soon as possible, so I'm just trying a ton of different things. Sad thing is today's Friday for me, but the work doesn't stop on Friday for me because in the US it's Thursday, so I'm gonna be working on my Saturdays here, and then my weekends become Sunday and Monday. If you're an international student or you're struggling with time zones, I hope when you hear this, you don't feel like you're alone in having to deal with geographical location changes. Even if you're in California, like PST time, that's 3 hours of difference. And I know some people who have had 9 a.m.s now have 6 a.m.s. Anyways, if you're curious, I wanted to share what I did for the past 1.5 hours watching the video. You know, some people are like, what kind of learner are you? Are you a visual learner, like kinesthetic learner, yada yada yada? And I'm kind of like, I'm a fast learner in that I need to process information fast, because if it takes too long, I get bored. Comment below if you relate to that. So the topic I was working on was the broadband spectrum and network neutrality. I didn't expect this to be that interesting, but it actually was. The main takeaway is a lot of the technology used, like radio, TV, cables, those all use radio waves, and this topic was about how the Federal Communications Commission allocates all these different radio waves to which technologies. Theoretically, if the whole radio wave was 100%, it's their job to allocate, oh, 30% is going to go to TV, 20% is going to go to cable, and then within that there's also assignments. So which company providers are licensed are actually able to operate their technology at that frequency. I knew the electromagnetic spectrum was a thing, throwback to chemistry, but I didn't really apply it to technology until this class. And you know, when people say like there were signal interferences, back then I was like, well, what does that even mean? But now I understand what it means is there are two competing signals or whatever trying to work at the same frequency. It is 10:30 p.m. but I'm so tired because I woke up at 7 a.m. Today was actually really productive, and I think it's because I pulled out my camera. I really think that's a secret. Every time I pull out my camera, I'm like, gotta be productive today. So guys, just rest assured this is not what I'm normally like. It would be great if I was always like this, but realistically I'm not, so please don't feel bad. Or if you do more than me, then please feel good about yourself, but just do your own thing. Don't compare yourself to me. After I finished that, I caught up on some student organizations I'm part of. So for Cornell Creatives, I had a meeting with my co-president, and then for DTI, I finished up some designs I had for the app that we were going to launch in April. But it didn't work out because of Corona. It was gonna be a live gym tracking app, which was such a great breakthrough because we finally were able to get real-time data of how busy the gyms were and a breakdown of like which cardio equipment was available, which weights. But we're just moving forward with other ideas, and hopefully in August, if school goes through, then we will launch it. But I have heard some speculations about how this may last into August and we may still virtual, or school may start later. It'd be great if you just kept it in your prayers. Last plug, donatecovid19.org. This website is something I've been working on with some teammates. Shout out to Michael, Jack, Katie, Alice, Amira, Sabby, Sancho. A lot of you guys volunteered to help, and I'm so floored by how many people shared this website, messaged to say it was helpful, and suggested a lot of donation funds for your own countries. Like, it was amazing to see all this come together, and now we have this website of donation funds that we can all donate to help support our communities. So I'll link down below, and I will see you in less than a week with another new video. Please take care and good luck with school, exams, everything. Bye guys. I have my tapestry here because my bed is unmade, so we ain't showing that.